Does your child have 4,000 toys and act like she has or he has no toys at all? If so, you might need to be in the market for toy rotation. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how I set up toy rotation for my 15-month-old daughter. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jenny. I am a teacher, mom, doctoral student, and also expecting my second child sometime in July. I realized recently that my daughter, even though she has a billion toys, is very quick to move from one activity to another, which is developmentally appropriate for this age. You cannot expect them to sit with one activity for very long, no more than probably 2 to 5 minutes. But what I wanted to do was actually set up a toy rotation system so that every week she has something new and fresh. So I wanted to tell you how exactly I did that. So the first thing that I did was actually take all of her toys from the whole house and put them all into our media room to survey exactly what she has so that I'm able to divvy it up in a way that's kind of equitable across categories. So once I set all of the toys out in one room, I realized there were a couple of areas that were kind of commonalities that I would probably include in multiple bins. I got these tubs from Big Lots and I got 4 of them. So I'm gonna do a 4-week rotation, see how that goes, and then add things as I need to or not. So I decided to make categories based on things I wanted her to have access to every single week. And the categories are kind of loose. So I just kind of based it around not only the stuff that she has, but things that, like I said, I want to make sure she has access to every week. For example, I always want her to have a Little People set. I have several Little People sets, so each bin has a specific Little People set. I always want her to have some building blocks. So there's several different building materials that I have included in her different activity bins. So for example, on the building blocks, I have Duplos in one, I have magnet tiles in one, I have mega blocks in one, and I have stacking mirror blocks in one. I also have bristle blocks, if you've ever seen those before. The bristle blocks I've been keeping up in her room. And we'll talk about that towards the end, that there are some toys that I keep that are permanent, that kind of just stay out in their space. In every bin, I include some picture cards to go over with different vocabulary words. I also include an instrument in each box. Different kinds of instruments. I have a drum in one, a xylophone in one, a guitar in one, and a baby Einstein, almost like a keyboard. Something else included in all of them to make sure I'm continuing that social emotional development is stuffies. I have stuffed animals in each one. So she has some loveys or stuffies in every single box that she has. I also happen to have just like a plethora of fake food, and I feel like food is a really great vocabulary to work on. So I have sets of fruits or vegetables in every single bin, different sets of them. Something else I wanted to make sure was in every single bin is something that is sorting, stacking, fine motor. So I had that as a whole category, and I kind of put everything that's sorting, stacking, fine motor in one section of the room and then split it among the bins. So every single one has some sort of sorting, stacking, fine motor activity. This is again super important because the developmental milestones generally fall into about 4 big categories. You have the gross motor skills, the fine motor skills, the cognitive skills, and then your social emotional skills. And I wanted to make sure that I had stuff in each bin that would support her need for that. Something else I included in every box is some sort of vehicle. I've been working on vehicle words with her and things like go, so I wanted to make sure every single box had some kind of vehicle. Some of them are really small there. Some of them are just the little Go Grippers that are the Winnie the Pooh series, and some of them are larger, like the Coco Melon school bus. I have 3 more categories that I decided to split things into to make sure they were in all of the boxes. The first one of those is magnets. Alice really likes to play with the magnets on the fridge, so I made a point to make sure that I had different magnets in each box so that every week she has new magnets to play with. I also wanted to make sure she had some sort of pretend play in every single box, so you're gonna see a couple of examples of the pretend play that we use. One example of it is the espresso machine that she has. That is a Minnie Mouse espresso machine. She also has a cooking pot, a play ice cream truck, and a microphone. The microphone also makes noise. Every section also has books in it. I am a big proponent of books. Alice likes to play with books. So in every single section of the bins, I have a different set of books. So there's fresh books on the shelf for her every single week. Finally, each bin has a miscellaneous section. Obviously, everything does not fit perfectly into a little category. I wanted to make sure I had like the big major stuff that I wanted to be sure she had access to every week. And then I kind of peppered everything else into the bins as I could. One thing I was able to do was actually have kind of like themes for the bins based around the toys that she had. So she has a bin that's farm themed, she has a bin that is wild animal themed, she has a bin that's surrounded around the theme of colors, and then she has a bin that's kind of like everything else. And you don't have to feel like you need to have particular themes for the bins, especially if your toys don't line up to it. I would just say gather all the toys in one place and then split them into the bins to make sure that you have things that work for each skill based around fine motor skills, gross motor skills, cognitive skills in each bin. That's all you really need to do. So once I decided what was going to go in these bins, I actually made a list. And you're going to see me using this list in the section of the video that you're going to see in just a second, where I am actually taking all of the materials and putting them back into the bin for bin 1. I'm actually going to be showing you exactly how I rotate them. This was the first time I did it, and it really didn't take that long. So once I got everything off of my shelves and I put it back in the bin, I pulled out the next bin and I went ahead and started filling the shelves with the new toys that my daughter would have access to. We flip over our week on Fridays after she goes to bed. So that way, Saturday to the following Friday, she has fresh new toys that should entertain her for the whole week. waste, I decided to make some cutesy little labels to put on the bins. Honestly, it's more for myself to know what I need to be putting back in there, because there are some things that I leave out all the time, like her bead maze, certain books that I just know she loves, the touch and feel books, she's obsessed with those. I also leave out some big stuff like her shopping cart and also her spinning, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a spinning wheel toy. I'll put a picture of what I'm talking about over here. She likes it a lot, but it's really big. So A, it doesn't fit well in the bins, and B, she plays with it all the time, so I wanted to leave that out as well. I hope this was helpful for you in finding an easy solution for how you can keep your child entertained for longer periods of time. I know it can be really tough to entertain that 12 to 18 month age because they're not quite old enough to be doing lots of big arts and crafts stuff yet to entertain them, and also their attention span is just so short. If you have another way that you do toy rotation or do something differently, please let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, this is my first week doing toy rotation. It has been a learning experience for me, and I'm always looking for ways to improve. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I would love having you around for all of my child development and also motherhood, parenting content, and I would love to learn from you as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.